This is FNGR. Is objectivity an illusion? I am tackling a subject I totally disagree with because embracing its value, simply put, would shatter my pre-existing perception of reality. Objectivity to me means using a set of rules and guidelines to give random thoughts meaning, order. It's creating structure where there was merely chaos. When I think of subjectivity, I think of a Chicago fan telling you that the Chicago Bears are the best football team ever, or that most people, not from New York, will tell you that the Yankees suck. I would feel that an objective answer from a fan would be, I don't like the Yankees for the following reasons, with a serious thought and a list of the team's lack of virtue, like the team is based on buying the best players and still not reaping the benefits of overspending. That's something that can be measured. Wins versus losses, players' costs. Dealing in cold hard facts and applying opinions after taking said facts into consideration. I've been watching an analysis for some time now by the name of DIgi, who's asserted that there's no such thing as objectivity. He's well thought out and generally states his views are from a personal preference standpoint. My knee-jerk reaction, clearly he must be insane. The problem with the interpretation, if argued objectively, insanity can be defined as simply as rationales and perceptions so foreign to your mind that they can't be comprehended. Digi's profess the desire to understand, or at the least, the means of taking in other perceptions. Isn't understanding objectivity making an effort to see through someone else's eyes and thoughts? So being objective clearly isn't practical. Isn't understanding objective? Of course, we all have prejudices from personal experiences that will never allow us to be 100% objective. It's why if we did an objective analysis, it wouldn't sound the same as someone else's. Personally, I feel it's a failing to disregard a concept out of hand, simply because it's hard or flawed, which is why I'm stuck on a hamster wheel on views being subjective or objective. I've even commented on one of his videos, why and how I play games. Objectivity is taking a set of standards and plugging in your experiences into those. I guess it would be better to call that guided subjectivity, opening myself up to the idea that he might be right. He replied with, I guess the same. I felt brainy the more I thought about the response. Originally, I took this as a polite courtesy. I felt flattered something I said had weight. A sane mind would have stopped there. Wait, was he toying with me? Did he think that already? Hadn't been enough that I'd figured out what he was thinking and I could have called it a day. Maybe I was waiting for an argument, a backlash, something to test me. Instead, his response was as if I had suggested something that would be the most natural thing in the world. I was fumbling in my head to come to the right conclusion. Forced subjectivity. Is that all that we're capable of? That rules, standards, structures are simply guidelines to add weight to what we will never truly be? God, that's terrifying. Imagine if no matter what you said, all your opinions had the same weight no matter what, no matter how lazy, no matter how retarded, unless simply put, someone didn't like them, or someone did. What if you ran into a well thought out viewpoint you hated? Surely there had to be some standard of quality on some level that you could acknowledge it at least in some part. I saw a swirling, terrified void of uncertainty. Is his stance just fantastic bullshit? I love bullshit. Is my stance just fantastic pure bullshit? I've seen Digi's opposite in the reviewer The Voice of Reason as this rigid, conservative voice of structure and guidance. I hate it. I admired it. It's jarring, it's harsh, but it feels like there's something there. Digi dismisses him out of hand, which is a shame. I'd love to see the two review together or debate. I have no doubt it would de-evolve into name-calling and wheels being spun. I'd still be fascinated to see the prospect of either side given to the other's logic. Now, I feel subjectively the reaction to go with Digi would be based on the fact that he's clearly more likable. I think I may have figured out the method to his madness at long last. He's so fantastically charismatic. If he can convince you all things are subjective and be the most likable analyst, he'd always be right. Headcanon accepted. This is FNGR saying, till next time, don't ask why a field burns or a plague spreads, because there is no good reason.